Hello, and welcome to this new setup for The Lid Show. I'm so happy I got an external mic so that I can just talk freely anywhere I want, further away from the camera, because apparently my voice is too soft for regular microphones. Anyways, so this past Friday, I did the unthinkable, and I deleted my Instagram account. Okay, to be honest, I deactivated it, but the plan is that in a few months, I don't go back to that godforsaken app, and I actually delete my Instagram. That will be the plan. We'll see. I really hope that future me is brave enough to do that. But anyways, I wanted to make this video to talk about what pushed me over the brink, what pushed me to the edge to do this, and perhaps influence you or de-influence you to do the same. If you've been following me for a while, then you know that this is actually my second time deactivating my Instagram account. I had a 3-year stint when I first started university where I didn't have Instagram, and it was honestly pretty good. Somehow I was still relevant. Somehow I still had a social life. So I managed to start university, start a new life. Mind you, I lived in a dorm, so it wasn't that hard to meet people. There was no pandemic. Things were just different, okay? I was able to kind of lead a normal life, but silly me, in 2019, I was like, what if I reactivate my account? Surely I'm not going to be affected by this algorithm anymore. I was wrong. You see, Instagram is literally designed to cater to our vices. It is an app that causes so many problems, jealousy, fake news, scams. There's a lot of breakups that happen because of Instagram. There's unfortunately a lot of relationships that are literally destroyed. People are cheating on each other on this stupid app, all because it is a way to get easy validation. And that's something that unfortunately we crave as humans. So yeah, that all being said, for quite some time now, I've kind of just had this kind of swinging feeling about social media in general, but especially Instagram. Some days I hate it, some days I love it, some days I hate it, some days I love it. And I've really been trying to think well, what does future me want? Do I really want to be on this app that much longer? Do I want to be in my 30s and still on this app? I know that I would never post my kids on this app. I rarely even post my fiance on Instagram. So what am I doing? Here's the thing. If you don't know this about me, I also DJ, or I used to, more on that later. And the truth is, if you are a creative, if you are dealing with creative people, photography, models, you're a DJ, if you're in that world, unfortunately for us, Instagram is our portfolio. So I was also thinking in the context of well, how will this affect my career? Will I lose out on career opportunities? Do I even want this career? So yeah, I've honestly just been on such a journey that I want to discuss with you guys because, yeah, I feel like I took this decision with a very spiritual approach, not just very basic surface level things. And that's what I want to share with you guys today. So the week leading up to me deleting my account, I actually wrote a pros and cons list of why I should delete it or what would happen if I deleted it. I don't know if you could read this, but literally the note is titled, "What happens if I delete Instagram?" I didn't really write pros and cons actually. I guess I more just wrote cause and effect relationships. So essentially what I wrote is, I wouldn't have any more need for validation, which is true. I wouldn't feel the need to post stories when I look good, when I've clearly made myself up and felt the need for the world to see that, or felt the need to get a reaction out of people, to get those likes on my stories, to get those hard eye reactions things with emojis. You know what I'm talking about. I no longer need that. How freeing. Less jealousy. This is huge. As much as we don't like to admit it, I think, especially me at least, I am a very competitive person. I just don't think it was good for me to constantly see other people promoting their successes and their highlights in their life, because it just made me feel like shit, to be honest. And I wish I wasn't like that. I wish I could be happy for other people all the time, but Instagram is different. Instagram is more of a toxic positivity place where people are just constantly showing off the highlights of their lives, and that really got to me. So yes, less jealousy. To be honest, I kind of wrote that like nothing is gonna happen to YouTube, nothing's gonna change, because I never cross-promoted. I probably should have, but I never promoted my YouTube channel on my Instagram because I was always just embarrassed, and I always wanted to have this like secret double life. Well, now I don't even have to worry about that anymore. Now, the cons of deleting Instagram. I will be more forgetful and less on people's radar. And this is true. And I kind of am already feeling the effects of this. It's just normal, right? Like you see someone's story and then you think about them, you know? So I did have friends who, if I posted a story, if I, said something on Instagram, they'd be like, oh, what are you doing right now? Let's hang out. I do feel like there are going to be less of those interactions, but whatever. More time to spend at home, alone. I also wrote that maybe I'd miss out on connections when I move to a different place. And this is honestly the reason why I didn't flat out delete my account, just deactivated it. I think a part of me is still afraid that there is a chance, I move to a different city and I'm scared that I won't be able to make friends if I don't have social media. Like, social media is great for moving somewhere new and kind of just posting a story like, hey, I'm in town. How else are people gonna know? Unless I start messaging random people, like how else are people gonna know where I am in the world? But maybe they don't need to know. I guess that is a con, but again, I think that the right people will come into your life regardless. It might just be a bit harder to make friends, but Instagram friends are replaceable. Real life friends are for life. I also wrote on here, now, in terms of career, because I know that this is a very important part of Instagram, and a lot of people will say that, well, Instagram opened a lot of opportunities for me and, allowed me to start my business and become known or start my music career, and that's probably true. But, if Instagram were to disappear, you'd essentially lose everything. And so I wrote on here, for, in my case, being a DJ, that without Instagram, it would be much harder to get DJ gigs, which is true because, I don't know, I'll have random like collectives and event organizers DM me, and that's how I'll end up DJing somewhere. And so without my Instagram, that's no longer going to be possible. But then again, I was thinking to myself, do I even want to continue a career that requires social media to thrive? So yeah, in a nutshell, those are my surface level pros and cons. But I want to get deeper into this topic because I feel like I truly had a somewhat religious experience now that I've deleted that app. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but I kind of just realized the power this stupid pink app has on our society as a whole, and how you become so much free once that's out of your life. Like truly, energetically, and I've been feeling this way for a while, I have felt that Instagram has had sort of this demonic energy, if you will. And I kind of was inspired to make this video / delete my Instagram after seeing one of my favorite creators talk about this, Kelly Stamps. I'll link her video down below. She made a video talking about her deleting Instagram and kind of her epiphanies and why she did it. And they're so true. The app is literally made so that we are sucked in. It is full of temptations. It plays with our psychology in such a way that we don't even realize what it's doing to us. And Kelly Stamps made a good point. She was like, well, why is it that you can see that people have talked about your post? You can see that your post or your story has been sent around to a bunch of people, but you can't see what they said. The only reason that Instagram made that a feature is to play with our psyches, is to reel us in and keep us on the app for longer. The more we feel shit about ourselves, the less confident we are, the more likely we're probably going to post. The more likely we're going to seek for that online validation because we probably don't have enough of it in our real lives. And that's honestly just sad, Sorry, I had to like shift positions because my leg was falling asleep. But yeah, I kind of just realized that there's so much heaviness related with the app and so much malicious behavior. And as someone who is getting married this December, what is my place on the app as a married person? Not that you can't have social media if you're married or not, but honestly, as a place where women go on to post nice pictures of themselves for all these people to see, all these random other dudes to see, and to get a reaction out of all these people. Is that something you really want to do as a married person, you know, or someone who's in a relationship? Is that not considered, in a way, online cheating? And so kind of just realizing these things and realizing, like, I feel like I'm in a different stage of my life. I feel like I see things that other people don't see when it comes to the app. I see the negative things it causes. I see how we're all just fighting for attention on that app. After kind of realizing all these things, I was just like, yeah, I'm done. I can't be on there anymore. And I'm telling you, the moment I got rid of that app, I honestly felt like this negative energy just lifted away, and I just felt so much lighter, if that makes sense. You don't realize how freeing it is to be able to walk around and not ever feel the pressure to like take a story or capture the moment. You really learn to declutter your mind and not just have posting or like aesthetics always in the back of your mind. And I don't know, it just has made me feel a lot more like I'm truly living my life in the present. I don't know, I feel like we lose ourselves a bit when we start trying to document everything or turn everything into content. This is why I like YouTube, because for me, YouTube is a lot more authentic. I choose to decide when I film. It's video, it's more educational. It's not people I know directly, so I'm not constantly comparing myself. You never feel bad on YouTube that like you didn't get invited to a party when you see all of your other friends at a certain party. Like, none of these very insidious dynamics are on YouTube, and that's why I love this app. Because I know some people are going to be like, well, YouTube's social media. No, I disagree. And I know there will be some people who are like, well, you could choose to be on Instagram less often. Trust me, I tried. I tried to like hack my way into becoming less of an Instagram user, and I'm telling you, this app is very smartly designed. First, I turned off notifications, and anyone who was messaging me super regularly, I was like, hey, I turned off notifications. Don't message me here, message me on something else. And somehow my smart, silly little brain just started checking Instagram more often to see if I had any notifications. Then I was like, well, what if I delete Instagram off of my phone and just have it on desktop? And I actually made another video recently talking about my relationship with Instagram. I'll put it up here. And desktop kind of worked for me for a while. It kind of was like Tumblr, it wasn't that bad. But then I started getting trained to check on desktop more often, open my computer to check Instagram. Like, how weird is that? And also, again, as a DJ, it got really hard to talk with like event promoters and, you know, with whatever gigs I had. I felt like I had to keep re-downloading the app every weekend whenever I had a gig, because I'd honestly miss messages, and these were important messages from people who were literally hiring me. So yeah, I basically realized that this is no longer for me, and perhaps having a career that relies solely on posting and promoting yourself and being active on social media is also not for me. And I do have to say, like, I kind of just felt reassured that everything's going to be fine. I truly have this feeling that, you know what? God is going to provide. If I went out of my way to like remove this temptation to be jealous of other people, of my friends, that can only mean good things are coming, because I have actively sought out to remove evil in my life. And I know this might sound preachy or whatever, but I truly believe that if you remove negative energy, and if you remove the ways in which negative energy can manifest in your life, you're just making room for more positive energy to come in. So yeah, that is basically all I had to say on deleting Instagram, which is a lot apparently. You can tell I have very strong opinions on this subject. I'm not saying that you should do this too, but I am saying that you should highly consider it. And yeah, with that, that's all I have to say for this video. I hope you guys like the new setup. Let me know. I hope the audio is okay. This is actually my second time recording this video, so my throat is like dead. It's gone. My voice, I'm not gonna have a voice tonight. And yeah, as always, I'll see you in the next video.